Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth, and today we're going to talk about my trip to Nashville. Last week my friend Tim Wildsmith got ordained through his church, so I wanted to pack a lot of things into that weekend because whenever I go to Nashville there's a lot to do. First of all, you all know I love to go to McKay's. I posted a video about my discoveries there. I'll put that on the end screen so you can check that out just in case you missed it. And then of course this time I scheduled a trip to Lifeway. I did not know what to expect. Generally speaking, when you visit with a publisher, it's either like a warehouse or it's sort of like a bunch of cubicles, and that's kind of what you would expect, a bunch of people in offices getting work done. And as I walked up to Lifeway, I saw the entrance and it looks kind of normal, and I was like, okay, I don't know what to expect here. So I walked in and I saw this kind of open foyer. There was a kiosk there, and then there was no one at the desk. So what do I do when there's no one at the desk? I began to snoop around. As I looked to my left, I saw this beautiful hello sign, and it gave me like these cafe vibes, and I was like, what is this place? So I snuck in there and looked around, and then as I peeked behind this wall, there was this cool windowed office room, and it just looked really welcoming and warm. And then as I tried to sneak back out, I got caught by the guy at the kiosk, and he was like, "Can I help you? What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm Tim Nichols, and I am here to meet a couple of guys because I'm supposed to be doing a tour today." So he asked me to sign in, and as I was signing in, Jeff Godby, the primary designer of the Bibles that you see from Holman, aka Lifeway, said, "Hey, are you Tim?" And then we exchanged pleasantries, and he took me into this room that looked like a giant cafe. It was pretty fascinating. There's a little snack bar and a bunch of little places where the guys can just sit. There's no office spaces, and he was explaining to me there's no office spaces in here. A lot of people work remotely, and we kind of have this freewheeling atmosphere where people are free to create and to dream and kind of out in the open. So there's no private offices. However, whenever you need private space, this is really cool. They have these rooms that function as like little conference room offices, and if they're available, there'll be a little green light right above the door to let you know that office space is available. So no one has a dedicated office space. The next place he took me was in the vault where all the Bibles are, and he showed me just tons of Bibles that they had released over the years. And then one of them he talked about was the Rainbow Bible. Now the Rainbow Study Bible is something I did not know that Holman was the publisher of. This is really neat. If you're familiar with the Rainbow Bible, it's color coded according to theme. I'm actually going to do a separate review on this one, so be looking for that soon. He also handed me a single volume Reader's Bible. Now I have always only seen these in volume sets, but this has the Reader's format in a single volume. There's no chapters and no verses. The chapter numbers are sort of indicated on the bottom of the page, and then by a blue, larger, sort of drop cap like letter. And it's just really interesting. I'll be doing a review on this one soon as well. But then after that, he took me to this room with this large table. And in this room is where he showed me the Handcrafted Bibles they had just recently come out with. I was able to see the double column verse by verse in all the colors, the single column paragraph in all the colors, and then he showed me the upcoming CSB quote-unquote pit minions, and I am telling you, those things are beautiful. I wish I could have snuck out of there with one of them, but they didn't have enough copies for that. But what they did let me sneak out with is a couple of their handcrafted Bibles, the red in the double column verse by verse and the gray in the single column personal size. I've done a review on these already. I'll put that on the end screen as well. But this was truly an amazing visit. And as the tour went on, I ran into Andy McLean and Dustin, and they really just made the experience great and showed me all these different spaces. And this place is like a vibe. It's so modern, it's so inviting, it's so warm. It looks like you'd walk into a cafe and just sit down, break out your laptop, and have your lunch break, only these guys are doing work, and they're doing incredible work. And then they took me out in this hallway, and we sat at this table, and they started pulling out all these leather panels of future colors coming up. I don't know how much information they want me to give on the colors that are coming up, so what I will say is there are some really exciting calfskin leathers on the table, and I am telling you, you are going to want to pay attention to Holman. Holman is doing some great things right now, also known as Lifeway. The design team is doing some incredible work, and they're always looking for ways to promote the CSB, to make it more well known, to get it in more hands, because it is among the most readable and accurate, faithful translations out there. If you've ever seen my top 4 translations that I recommend as a pastor, you know that the CSB is right up there with all the others that I really enjoy and promote. And the Lifeway that I visited is not the Lifeway of yesterday. This is modern, this is metro, this is savvy. It's just incredible what I was able to witness. It is absolutely not what I expected, and I am so glad that I went, not just because I walked away with 4 really cool Bibles, but I got to meet 3 really cool guys, plus the kiosk guy, which is in this picture trying to look really contemplative. It was very funny. They had great senses of humor. They were very personable, and they were just very kind to me and let me look behind the curtain and see how the sausage is made, so to speak. And I just want to thank them. I also want to thank Catherine for setting this up. I also want to thank Josh for helping me get connected with Catherine. This was just an incredible trip and really worthwhile. I scored at McKay's. I got to see my buddy get ordained, and then I got to see one of the most amazing publishing setups I've ever seen in my life. Imagine going to a place where you have absolute freedom to create in a larger space. I've heard it said larger room, larger vision, and it seems like that's the case with Holman, also known as Lifeway. I had a phenomenal time. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on.